Hey, it's Ed here. Today we're taking a look at technical analysis for Nasdaq with Elliott Wave Theory. A couple of advertisements here at the start. I finally completed the Elliott Wave and RSI Advanced course, so if you want to master the RSI and want to learn how it can be utilized properly with Elliott Wave Theory, check out the course on Udemy. I've also founded Counter Trend Capital with these guys over here, so if you are looking for signal service and more education, check us out here on countertrendcapital.com. And lastly, if you want to educate yourself and support me, you can take a look at Patreon, where you can find Elliott Wave Basics course, access to weekly live streams and extra content overall. Thank you for your support. Let's get into the charts next. So here we are on 4-hour time frame on Nasdaq futures chart, and today again we're going to be focusing on more of the local structures over here, but again just to get the overall picture as well, let's take a look at the structures from the 17k highs around the November 2021. Since then, again, we have two different options. This one, as a WXYXZ, is the more bullish one. However, we have major issues here locally, which is why I don't like this at all. This would again say that we have a triple correction coming down, which is in itself very rare already. But with the issues that we have here, that I'm going to be sharing with you later on, I'm going to be again going away from discounts quite a lot. Now, the better structure that I'll have here is just a simple WXY. Of course, we do have some issues here as well locally, where we have this C wave as a very short one. So again, both accounts do have issues on itself, but on both we have labeled this as the WXY until this point as well. Now, from there on out, again, we have a couple of different options. One of them is saying that we have this as a WXY into these highs here, or we have this as the ABC into X here. So either X is over here or here. Both of them are still valid. With this option where we have X already put in place in the August highs, we would have this as a potential 5-wave coming down and then a 3-wave pullback and another 5-wave coming down in the form of ABC, a zigzag correction, looking for that 3-wave move later on. And yeah, that looks still decent. If we go beyond the highs of 13.9k, this is going to be invalidated. With this kind of structure, we would have a ABC, WXY, and some kind of ABC or WXY here as well. At that point, again, we did not reach the 1-to-1 or the 0.382 of this structure overall. So again, it's not the best look, and the sideways look is going to make it even more difficult to make this into a anything that we really like. These would have been really nice to see to be hit, but again, of course, there is a chance that we just go up still, but to me, that is less likely than the counts that I'm going to be showing you today. Now, let's jump into the more lower time frames and see how and what the issues are with the bullish counts first. So this was the bullish count that we have been following, where this would be some kind of diagonal here into wave A or wave 1, 3-wave pullback into wave 2 or B, and then we had to label it into these lows here of around 6th of January, and then we would have this as a 1-2. We had other labels here previously when we were looking at Nasdaq, but due to the structures afterwards, we can't label those anymore as such. So this was the only way I could be labeling this. However, now comes the biggest issue that we have. This third wave is actually the smallest. And again, if we are looking for other pivots here, I just can't find them. I just can't get this working at all as an impulse. The only way I could have tried to label this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, where this wave 4 is very deep, and this wave 1 is very insignificant in comparison to the next structures over here, and also third at this point would be the smallest, which is again an invalidation of the counts. So that's why I don't like the bullish counts at all. If you can find a count that is bullish here, and I don't think we can have this as, well, maybe 1, 2, 1, 2, I don't know. We can't have this as a 3 because again, we would overlap here with the 1 and 4, and this would have to be 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and again, at that point, again, we would have to start the 3s and 4s, but again, here we get an overlap. So again, you see why this is very difficult to label as a impulse wave structure in any case. So that's why, again, more corrective structures are easier labeled here, and it looks decent as well. In here, again, WXY, oh sorry, ABC into W, ABC here into X, and then again, well, this might be a expanding structure where actually this should be like that. Similar to the impulse wave count start. So ABC into W, X, and then ABC into Y. A couple of different ways of labeling this for sure. We could even have it like that, where this would be some kind of three-way structure. It does not really matter. The pivot point would be up in here and these lows here. So again, WXY, getting to the bearish targets 1.236 and 1.382 extensions and looking decent. Let's check out the time analysis here, or time comparison. We see that we're very close to the 1-to-1, making it very good look in proportions. Now, let's take a look at the more local structure. Oh, actually, before that, again, what this would fit the best is this ABC, which would be this count here, where we have 5 coming down, 3 back, and then looking for 5 down. If we can get an impulse wave here, or we'd be looking for this structure where this would be the end of wave X, and now we'd be looking to create a partner leg for that large W. And again, at that point, we would be coming down quite deeply. Now, locally, let's see what we got. Let's get rid of these. So here we go. Let's start with the 1 hour. I think that looks good. So 3 waves here looks very good in my opinion. I guess I can label this into a diagonal, but again, it is very forced in my opinion. So again, 3 waves here looks better. 3 waves look here looks very good here as well. This is kind of difficult. We do get to the 0.618 barely if we want to label this as a 3 waves into here, into W, and then 3 waves into X, and then 3 waves into wave Y. We do get to the 0.618 here, very close to it, and a 1.236 to 1.382 here, as well as a bearish target of this move. So it looks decent as is. I'm not quite sure what this is, this next structure here. On S&P 500, we had the diagonal here that we took the long from, and then we were riding this whole thing. And now, again, we have extended quite a lot. So if we are just looking at the structures here on 1 hour, we could be labeling this in ABC as well. We have got quite large divergences here already in place, and we do hit the bearish target of this move. So there is a chance that this is already done. This has retraced a lot of this move, this local move. So if we are looking at that retracement, we can see that we are right at the 0.5, which is again one of the targets if we want to be having more of a bearish bias. However, how fastly this came up, I'm not quite sure if this is done. There is a chance that we are going to be correcting this structure now downwards, and then we would be getting a partner leg for this structure to create something like that. And at least at that point, we would have some kind of more time used in comparison to this as well. Because again, if we are just comparing this to this whole thing, we can see that it would be very weird to see that this whole thing would be correcting this structure over here completely. So that's if we are indeed creating this as a 3-way structure, just starting something, I would be expecting us to get some kind of move downwards and then a continuation up again. But we'll see how that turns out. The other count that I have here is this bearish count, or bearish impulsive count, where again, as I mentioned here, we can be forcing that impulse wave into here. It's really ugly. It's really forced in. I have to agree with that. And again, where 2 could be in these highs as well, or could previously be in these highs. But if it is, then we would have to have that is a 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5 in these highs, or these lows, sorry. And then we would be needing to kind of force the count a bit. Again, it's not really good looking structures for an impulse wave structure. Overall, they are very weird the extensions here. I can't really measure them well. This would be another 1, 2 here, 3, 4, and 5. If we are comparing again this wave 1 here to the next, we can see that this next one, which should be smaller degree, is actually larger in price. Again, that makes no sense generally, but those extensions can happen, and that's why I have this as an option available still. Invalidation for this idea is completely up in these lows here around 12.4457, which again the wave 4 would be overlapping with wave 1. The issue again with this one is that we have gone beyond the 0.5 retracement of that third wave here, which is making the wave 4 being less and less probable. However, again, we do have that alteration against this wave 2 here, making it very deep wave 4 against very sideways wave 2. So again, that is again at least something that is good about this count. But yeah, those are the options that I'm currently looking at. There is a chance that you could be going short on here against the highs here as a possibility, if you are believing in this impulse wave count more. But again, at that point we'd be seeking to take these lows out at least, and as this is already quite deep retracement, we can't really compare the one-to-one of this at least, so we'll see how that is going to go. Let's see if we can get some kind of extension target here. Let's see if we can get something like this. Maybe the 1.618 is the best one here to target. Yeah, we'll see. One-to-one again does not take out these lows. That's why I'm not really considering it. I don't consider truncations to be the target of anything. So if this indeed comes down, you should be looking for that forward move. And again, if we want to be going long on this pullback, we could be looking for this forward move, divergence here, and then looking for a long opportunity somewhere down here, and yeah, seeing how that goes upwards. Again, if that goes in 4 waves, it could be a continuation of previous trend. If it is in 3 waves, then we can definitely continue this new trend downwards later on. But those are some of the ideas that I have for Nasdaq for this current and upcoming week. And we'll see how those turns out, and we'll get back to you next week probably on Nasdaq and S&P 500, of course, every other day as an update. If you made it this far into the video, I would appreciate the likes and comments on this video. If you want to learn more and educate yourself, check out the Patreon, check out the Udemy course, and also if you want to have signals, check out countertrendcapitals.com. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next video. Bye bye.